All right, we're now recording. Welcome, everybody. My name is Stefan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Noomii.com. It's Friday, October 5th, and we're here for Profile Review Friday. So what we do in this call is we review one of our attendees' profiles on Noomii, and before we do that, I take everyone through a bit of a process that prospective clients are very likely to go through, or something similar anyway. And so it's a good opportunity for you to also step into the shoes of a prospective client, because at the end of the day, that's the person you're trying to appeal to. And so what I've found as being particularly useful in these calls is for someone to step outside of their own shoes, if you will, and stepping into the shoes of a client. Coaching is a challenging service to promote and sell because it's so closely tied to you yourself, right? It's not like you're selling a widget that you can hold, you can put it in your hands, you can describe it, you can look at it and say, hey, this is the thing I'm selling. Instead, you're selling a service that's very much connected to who you are as a person. And so it can be really difficult for you to objectively kind of portray yourself in a professional, effective way that ideal clients will resonate with it. And so I think stepping out of and looking at someone else's profile, I think, is really useful, and especially trying to do so through a client's set of eyes. So were you on this call last month, Stefan?
Yep.
Okay. We didn't review your profile, did we?
Nope.
Okay. So why don't we do that today?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's start by describing who your ideal client is, so that Trevor and I can try to step into the shoes of that person.
Yes. Business owners of small and medium enterprises who want to take their game to the next level and are seeking help to do that, looking for actionable solutions and lasting results.
Okay. When they come to coaching, what's keeping them up at night? Is there something that's causing them to sort of toss and turn?
Yes. Getting immersed in the urgent versus the important. So they work more in the business than on the business. And sometimes they need to take a step back and get a pair of outside eyes to look at what they're doing and how they're doing it, so that they, for the long-term success of their business, can at least spend some time and effort on the important versus the urgent.
Okay, so that's all very true, and I can see how that's your perspective on it, or your analysis of it. But I want you to step into the shoes of your ideal client now for a moment. So think of someone who is in that state of being immersed in their business, working in it, not on it. And so if you were to describe to them, so let's say they're just like super stressed, things are just super hectic, and you're just sitting down with them at a coffee shop or something. You're like, whoa, dude, you look really stressed. Like, what's going on? What words would they use to describe that situation?
I have trouble with my wife.
Okay.
My family relationships are so-so. I have no quality time for me or with my loved ones. I lost some good people recently. I have 10 direct reports, and they are not happy with that. And so some people leave, and it's too late. Some customers start complaining that I don't spend any time with them, and that the care that they got 3 years ago is no longer happening. I want to grow, but it's not happening because I simply have the time for a growth strategy, left alone implementing it.
Okay. See how real that got suddenly? Like, it was really like, wow, okay, it became a lot more visceral for me, not just conceptual. It's not like I think those are the things, if we can use that kind of language in your marketing copy, so much more powerful, right? Because what you described earlier on was so like cliche, and I've heard it 100 times before. Right? So like you're not working, you're working in your business, not on your business. You want to take your business to the next level. You want to generate more revenue. It's like, yeah, who doesn't? Yeah. I'll move on. Thank you very much. Right? So if you can really hit your ideal clients with that emotional, like you're really hitting them where it counts, you're really understanding you get them. And they can relate. And maybe they aren't dealing with, let's say, you know, their spousal relationship, but they could probably relate to, yeah, I haven't been out hanging out with my friends in months.
Yes.
Or something similar, right? So great. So that's a great start. Trevor, can you fully like step into the shoes of that person, that business?
You want me to be that guy?
You want to be that guy?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to be that guy as well. And now, for whatever reason, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get some help. So now we're all looking at my screen here, and we're going to start searching for a coach. And this is a common situation. So someone will type in their zip code or their area code. Now you're in, you're in Canada, right? In British Columbia?
Me?
Stefan?
I share my time between Whitehorse and Vancouver.
Okay, so let's put in your zip code or your postal code where you're listed on Noomii.
Yeah. Victor 6 Echo 4 Alpha 2.
4 Alpha 2, did I get it right?
V6E 4A2.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to search for coaches, and of course you're going to be at the top. So now, as I scroll through this page, just notice where your eyes go. Remember, you're this client, this business owner. Relationships with your family are tenuous, etc.
Are you still sharing your screen with us?
All right, can you not see it?
Oh,
your screen sharing is paused.
Okay.
Your screen sharing is paused? Oh, that's funny. Sorry about that. Can you see it now?
There you go.
Okay, apologize for that. Okay, so here we are, Coaches near Vancouver, BC. And again, just notice what you notice. Notice where your eyes go, what you look at. So there's this ad at the top, okay. And then you notice coaches. Trevor, where do your eyes go? What do you look at?
I look at people.
Yeah, you look at the faces, right? Their images.
Yeah.
So we saw 3 here so far. What do you make of these 3?
Diane's image is grainy. I don't sort of gravitate towards that. John Paul and Stefan's are okay. I probably prefer Stefan's the most myself personally.
Yeah, it's Jean Paul's looks like he's a writer or something, a philosopher.
He looks like he's going to dive in a little bit.
I don't know if he's going for that or not, but that's sort of the impression. But the reason why I'm saying it is we've done a bunch of user testing and had people coming into the website, and then we just say, just tell us what's on your mind. Just blurt it out. And it's amazing all the sort of impressions that people make about different people. Like, oh, that guy looks like an actor. Or, oh, wow, he looks like a super professional. I wouldn't even want to talk to him. He's probably super stuffy. And, people make all sorts of judgments, and you have to take every judgment with a grain of salt because, one person's not representative of everybody. But the image is nonetheless very important. And if we scroll down, Jim White, look, I don't know, he's got this bow tie kind of
pretty KFC.
geeky scientist kind of feel to him. Catherine is sort of warm. Okay. This one, I don't know. It's not the greatest shot.
Pretty Molly housewife from the 70s.
Yeah, housewife from the 70s. Kristen, Definitely,
Okay.
sort of
Great.
young
Yeah, no, it's clear
millennial,
in that.
etc. So image is super important. You want to craft a good one. I would say Mark has a pretty solid, like professional, strong. Brad's is also pretty good, but a little more,
No plain.
a little plain. I'd say a little more kind of like, I don't know, millennial or something, a little younger. Cal, pretty decent. Looks kind of badass. Like a little more serious or something. That's what I mean by it. Etc. So let's go back to the top. So I think yours is pretty solid here, your photo. Warm, approachable. What else do you notice? Obviously, I think the language here and the words are important. Master in Engineering and Business, Family Enterprise Advisor, Sauter School of Business, all great credentials. Who are you most drawn to out of these coaches? I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think it's this one because I'm looking for a business coach. I work with highly functioning, motivated individuals because I think these are important. Sorry, the bolded text, right? Business, career, executive.
Yeah.
I might put career after executive.
Yeah, good. Will do.
Yeah, it's a minor adjustment. Or even entrepreneurship instead of career. Like, why did you put career?
Well, the requests that are listed on Noomii seeking referrals from you, there are so many people looking for a career coach that are not entrepreneurial or not seeking or in self-employment or are not in it. And I have done a lot of career coaching as an executive and in my career. So it was just to broaden my appeal, but I find it kind of difficult, kind of a two-avenue approach addressing in my profile. I'm addressing business owners and addressing professionals who seek career advance as well in the same profile. I find that very difficult, if not impossible. But the coaching leads I got through you so far were probably half were career leads.
Yeah, so that's fair. And I think it is, as a general sort of meta principle, you want to try to focus. You want to try to stick to one type of client. And I get that there are a lot more career coaching clients than there are business clients. That's just the sort of the nature of Noomii at the moment. But I would caution you to try to do both, right? I think that is dangerous and, like you said, perhaps even impossible to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's totally impossible, to be honest, but it's a lot more difficult and it potentially muddles your messaging. Well, thanks for joining us. I just noticed now that you're on the call. I don't know how long you've been around, but
Hi.
hi. We are going to be reviewing. How do you pronounce your name, Stefan? I pronounce it. Stefan?
You like yours. We come from a German-speaking background, both of us. Stefan.
Yeah. There's a number of different versions. My parents are German-speaking. I grew up in partly French-speaking, so Stefan was a common way of saying it. So anyway, what we're doing, Morella, is we are stepping into the shoes of a business owner. So that is Stefan's ideal client. So someone who wants to take his business to the next level, his or her rather, business to the next level, and they're really struggling with the day-to-day operations of the business, and it's causing an impact with family, with relationships, even health and wellness. So the balance in life is totally out of whack. So yeah, let's keep going. I want to get into your full profile now and we can give you some feedback. So
yes,
just for this page, which is a page with many coaches listed, the key takeaways are, number one, image is super important. So you want to have a profile image that looks professional. It's a reasonably good close-up, so you don't want to be way off into the distance. And the other things that are important is these primary coaching specializations that you choose. You want to have your credentials listed up here. I like that you list them. Like you don't just write master of, well, what would you put? Masters of Engineering. Is that an MSc?
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's from a German university.
You put Master in Engineering and Business. I think that's more, it leaves less guessing for the client. Same thing with Family Enterprise Advisor. I think those are both highly relevant to the type of coaching you do. Jean-Paul down here, he doesn't have any credentials, right? Comparatively speaking. So you want to list those there. If you have any credentials that are like, let's say coaching credentials, I'll often see that. People will put in CPC or CPCC or whatever. Clients don't know what that is. So it doesn't hurt to spell it out, like certified professional coach, whatever it may be. Reviews are really important. So you have 5, that's great. I think you want to aim for even more if you can, 10, 12, 15, double digits if possible. That makes a difference. And your phone number, why do you put a 001 in front?
Well, Stefan, Noomii is an international platform. Through you, I got a client in Poland.
No way, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So they have to dial, from Poland, they would dial 001, or do they just dial 1?
001.
001, got it. Okay.
But you know what? I may change it to a 1. That is even more fluid. Yeah.
I like that you have the dashes and the hyphens in here as opposed to here where if I'm actually pecking it in with my fingers, I'm more likely to make a mistake than I think if you break it apart like this. Visually, it's a little more appealing. So it's a little thing. Okay, so now let's get into your full profile. And when I click it, I'd love for you all to read it and then just blurt out like what words or phrasing draws you in, which words or phrasing cause you to be perplexed or curious, or just what are your impressions when you read his profile. So we're going to assume you've seen the list of coaches and now you're going to click on, you want some more information about this coach. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to scroll down. We've already read that top little blurb. So now we're going to look here. I am the change hound. Okay.
So I'm not digging the sort of poetry layout here.
Okay.
I don't know about the metaphor. It doesn't work for me.
Okay. Mirella, any impressions so far?
Well, it reads a little bit like a bullet list, and it would be nice to connect it in some way.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. For me, I think I'm echoing what Trevor says. Seems a little bit on the clever side. Change hound, I don't know, biting. It sounds a little intimidating or something, not super inviting. And I don't know if I need, like, why change hound? Like, what, do I need change? Not totally clear.
It's well, people seeking a coach want to make some changes and improvements. And the hound element means that I'm with them all the way through, help them to stay on track and follow through. Challenge their assumptions, give them candid feedback, truly encourage them.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting that from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a hound and she's lying across the floor asleep, snoring right now. So,
Trevor, what's your last name? I want to contact you, seriously.
yeah, my last name's Hale, Hale.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm in Vancouver also, mate.
Okay.
You are?
I am.
Oh, cool. One thing that I think is a lesson I try to get across in these calls is clarity trumps cleverness. So I think there's a lot of cleverness here, but it's clouding the message. It could be a little more direct. And here's And then you have your credentials. So there's a little bit up here, your value promise. Okay, I think I get what you're trying to get at. I don't know if it lands in quite the way that is impactful for me. And then my credentials. So that's all excellent. How I can help you. Okay. I want to read this now. How can I help you? Again, this feels a little bit, like I mentioned earlier, a little bit like out of a textbook or something, you know, principles, but it's not like super real for me. Issues that lawyers and accountants run from. Prep work is additional. Book your feet. Okay. So here's a structure that I would recommend. I think you want to, so are you familiar with PRISM, the acronym PRISM? I shared in Coach Marketing Bootcamp.
Nope.
If not, I'll describe it here. It's really simple and it's super useful.
Yeah.
So PRISM is P, the pain or the problem. So you want to start there. You want to start by connecting with your client by saying, I know what your pain and problem is, and I know it perhaps even better than you do. I totally get it, and I get you. The second is R, PRISM R. The R is the reason. So you want to explain to them, this is why you're struggling with the issue that I just described above. So not only do you know what they're going through, you know why they're going through it. Next is the I, the insight. What's the insight you have about their problem and the reason they're experiencing it? The fourth is your solution. And obviously it's coaching, but I think it needs to be a little bit more than that. It's your bend on coaching, like, and it has to match those first three things, the P, the R, and the I. And then the last one is the solution. Sorry, it's the M, the magnificent outcome. PRISM was better than Prizzo. You know, what do they get out of it? What does life look like after coaching? And so another way to think about it is, they're on Pain Island, you're going to take them to Paradise Island. Describe what Paradise Island looks like for them. So for your client, let's start with the pain first. Are you working day and night to try to grow your business? And instead what's happening is your staff are leaving. Some of your best clients are leaving. Your spouse is ready to leave. And your kids don't even know who you are. You're working and working and working, but the results are simply not being achieved. So that's the pain. Notice I didn't take 4, 5, 6 sentences. That's like 1 or 2 sentences. Then you get into the reason. So the reason why you're struggling in your business is because, I think what you said was, you're working in your business. You're not working on your business. And maybe there's another way that's a little less cliche to say that. Maybe it's like, you're not taking, because you're so overwhelmed and busy, you're not taking the time to really stop and think about the strategic direction of your business. So that's the reason. The I is your insight. So what's your insight about that problem and that sort of reasoning? What's the thing that you know about that particular problem that you would want to convey there that maybe delivers a bit of an aha moment for them? That reason.
Let me help you to take that step back. And counterintuitively, that will reduce your stress.
Yeah, that's good. So you can even say, it may seem counterintuitive, but what you need to do is block off time, weeks and months from now, to sit down with me as a forced opportunity to work on the strategy of your business.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive, but you need to slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Then the solution is, I think, in this case, you hardly even need, like you've already described, it's like you need to slow down to speed up. But then maybe you can talk about the solution being a bit more about like the strategic help that you can provide and the insights that you have about business, how to grow businesses, how to manage people better.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you walk people through like a one-page plan, or what do you do to help them create that business focus? Like what's your specific kind of coaching solution look like compared to, say, other coaches?
Well, I say behind every line item in a financial statement, there's human behavior, which is usually at the root cause of everything. So it would be looking at relationships all around: family, customers, employees, and look at symptoms as they occur there, and then drill down and see what the business owner can do to improve on that.
So that's interesting. That's interesting. That's different. So what you're saying is, if I could summarize, all business problems are people problems.
Yep.
And
Basically.
relationship problems. And so that's maybe another slight focus that you can have, that you can make, that differentiates you from other business coaches.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you build your business by really focusing on the key relationships in your business.
Yes.
Whether that's with your staff, with your number one customers, right?
Yes.
And then let's get to the M, the magnificent outcome. Paradise Island. So what does it look like? 6 months from
Clarity.
now, 12 months from now, what does my business look like?
Clarity, more control, peace of mind, bottom line up, bottom line in many ways. Also not just money, but socially and emotionally.
Absolutely. You need to say that, right? It's not just about improving the bottom line.
Not just the dollars. Yeah.
Dollars are important, but peace of mind is really important as well. So see how that works? See how there's like a really good flow? You start with the problem and you end with them being on Paradise Island. You're explaining, it's like you're really giving a solid argument for how you get to the outcome. And once you identify what the P, the R, the I, the S, and the M are for your particular clients, they don't have to be listed in that order. You can move them around. You can start with the magnificent outcome, or you can, but if you want to just follow that linear progression from P, R to I to S to M, works great. I've used it in many, many cases with many different types of marketing, whether I'm marketing a webinar or a service or coaching. I've used it and it works great. Any questions?
I can only thank you all. It was really, hey, you gave me a lot of work now, which is good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, everybody. Trevor, and what's your big takeaway?
Yeah, I like the PRISM model. I think I'll work to tweak that a little bit. Just listening every time I sort of go through any sort of process like this, it's just helping me to refine and articulate my ideas a bit better.
Who are your ideal clients, by the way?
Yeah, so I come from a psychology, a high performance sports psychology background. So I'm sort of taking those high performance mindsets, looking at limiting beliefs, and I really get excited working with people who are, the 98th percentile and want to go to the 99. So I work with people who want to, pretty much squeeze blood from a stone.
Nice. I love it.
So I've got experience, working with Olympic athletes and professional athletes and things like that. So, but I find that there's, you might almost sort of think of it in terms of midlife crisis, but I don't think it is. But there's a lot of people who are, you know, they've got the teenage kids and life's pretty good. But there's just, you know, something that's not sitting right with them. So it's, you know, it's kind of going out and finding your joy. It's recharging. It's turning the lens inward and starting from there. And, you know, I know that when people can get out and sort of get into that flow pathway, that there's upticks across the board in their life, whether it's relational, how they feel about themselves and what's going on at work.
Cool.
It all increases. So
yeah,
it's kind of the channel I follow.
Thank you. We're now past the time, but I have a couple more minutes. So if you need to go, by all means, have a good rest of your day and then enjoy your weekend. But if you can stick around for a couple minutes, I'd love to get some input from you, Mirella. Who are your ideal clients?
Well, so I think I'd like to work with new managers, people who are just new to a management position, who haven't had a whole lot of training in managing. They're good at the technical piece of it, but not the people part. And same thing with small business owners who are good with their craft, but not necessarily with managing people and managing the business. So those are my ideal clients.
Oh, I think that's great. I think that's a really big market. There's a lot of people that fall into that category. I think you can do well to sort of position yourself in that respect. They're probably, maybe not totally in alignment with Trevor's ideal clients, but they're probably kind
Close.
of keeners, you know, like the ones that are going to be seeking out help are the ones that really want to go, you know, like they're not, they have high hopes and big aspirations, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to learn a little bit more about everybody, but unfortunately, I need to get going. So it's been a real pleasure. I appreciate everyone's contributions, and thank you all for being here today and taking valuable time out of your day to contribute. And I'll be sharing the recording with everybody. Stefan, I think it's probably most relevant to you, but I'll be sending a quick email after this as soon as I get it published. All right?
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
weekend.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, Canadians.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.